Good evening. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime here on India Today. I'm Akshita, Nandagopal. It's the same story every year on Ram Navami. We see incidents of protests, of communal clashes breaking out. Why is that? We're going to be telling you all about the latest that's happened in Maharashtra, violence being reported in Gujarat as well. First, here are the headlines. Guns, swords and hockey sticks brandished in Ram Navami rally in Bengal a day after Chief Minister Mamata warned over armed processions. After Germany takes note of Rahul's disqualification, Congress welcomes foreign support. Says democracy is being compromised by persecuting Rahul. BJP hits back. Mega India Today exclusive. BJP's #1 challenger, Siddaramaiah, reveals his ambitions, declares he wants to become the chief ministerial face.
Myself, D.K. Shivakumar. Of course, Parameshwara, I don't know whether Parameshwara is an aspirant or not. He said that he is also one of the aspirants. Correct. And MB Patil is also an aspirant. Nothing wrong.
Correct.
Poster war goes national as AAP puts up anti-Modi posters across Delhi and in Ahmedabad. Fugitive Amritpal releases an audio from hiding, plays victim card again, says he's run out of food. Is the hunt for the Khalistani leader nearing its end? And language politics over curd, over Thai leaves a sour taste in Tamil Nadu. Order to rename curd in Hindi to Dahi withdrawn after DMK government backlash. And let's begin with breaking updates that's coming in right now from Gujarat of fresh clashes that have been reported on Ram Navami. We've already been seeing pelting being reported in this very area of Vadodara in Gujarat. And yet again, in the same location, reports coming in of fresh clashes. This has happened on a Ram Navami procession in Fatehpura. The clashes had erupted earlier also in the same location on the eve of Ram Navami. We're being told cops are at the spot, but this is yet another instance of the Shobha Yatra which is carried out during Ram Navami being targeted. In Gujarat, the procession being targeted in Vadodara. You can see the cops in action there, many of them trying to disperse the gathering. But we understand that stones were pelted on many of the members who were part of that procession as they were passing by one particular stretch in Fatehpura. And it is in this very location that we've already seen clashes breaking out. So there will be questions asked on why, when at this location there were clashes that broke out earlier, why was adequate security not provided when the procession was going through the exact same stretch later as well? These are images that we're getting to you from Vadodara, from Fatehpura. Gopi Manyar is joining us with more details on this. Gopi, हमको ये बताइए कि अभी स्थिति क्या है वहाँ पे फतेहपुरा में? Gopi, can you hear me? We're going to reconnect with Gopi in just a few moments to get you these updates that are right now coming in. Let's also try to get you some ambience there as in fact our reporters on the ground are also getting you those updates. The Shobha Yatra was targeted. You can see crowds trying to gather, pelting stones in the procession. They're chased away by the cops, but not before they managed to pelt stones at some of the members of the procession. This is a planned route of the Shobha Yatra, which has been targeted. And mind you, it's the same location where clashes reportedly took place just a few hours ago. Police is on the spot, but clearly there will be questions about whether there's been adequate deployment at all. Gopi Manyar is back with me. Gopi, हमको ये बताइए कि अभी स्थिति क्या है वहाँ पे फतेहपुरा में?
बिल्कुल, देखिए आपको बता दें कि वहाँ की सिचुएशन फिलहाल जो है पुलिस अब अंडर कंट्रोल करने की कोशिश में लगी हुई है, क्योंकि अभी पथराव हुआ है। एक बार फिर वहाँ पे पथराव हुआ जब दूसरी शोभा यात्रा यहाँ से निकल रही थी। रामनवमी का मौका है और ये इलाका जो है फतेहपुरा का, ये कुंभरवाड़ा करके इलाका है जो काफ़ी संवेदनशील माना जाता है। तो यहाँ पे पहले से ही पुलिस तैनात थी। पुलिस की मौजूदगी में ही जब दूसरी बार शोभा यात्रा निकली तो उस पे पथराव किया गया। फिलहाल पुलिस यहाँ पे कॉम्बिंग कर रही है। पुलिस पत्थर जो लोग अपने घरों के अंदर रखे हुए हैं और जहाँ से पथराव हो रहे हैं उन सभी जगह पर कॉम्बिंग कर रही है और जो पत्थर है उसे बरामद करने की कोशिश में भी लगी हुई है। साथ ही पुलिस जो है बड़ी तादाद में पुलिस मौके पर पहुंची हुई है। ऑलरेडी दोपहर में यहाँ पे एक शोभा यात्रा पर पथराव हो चुका था, जिसके चलते जो एसआरपी की 2 टीम यहाँ पे तैनात थी। पुलिस बड़ी तादाद में मौके पर मौजूद है, लेकिन पथराव इतने ज़बरदस्त हुए कि पुलिस को टीयर गैस के सेल छोड़ने पड़े ताकि सिचुएशन को कंट्रोल में लिया जा सके। ये दूसरी शोभा यात्रा जो शाम के वक्त अभी निकली उस पे ये पथराव हुआ और फिलहाल वहाँ पे पुलिस पूरी सिचुएशन को अंडर कंट्रोल करने की कोशिश में लगी हुई है। फॉलो मी।
All right, Gopi, thank you for getting us those updates. Gopi Manyar reporting right now from Ahmedabad, telling us that currently the police had to resort to firing tear gas shells to get rid of some of the mob that had gathered there. What we're showing you on our screens, the left is an incident that happened earlier in the very same spot of violence, pelting that was reported when the Shobha Yatra was making its way through, and now of more pelting, more clashes, more violence that's been reported in the exact same spot, leading to obvious questions about what the cops were doing. If in the exact same spot there were protests that happened earlier, there was violence that broke out earlier, why weren't they prepared this time around to ensure it doesn't happen again? Unfortunately, it wasn't just in Gujarat. In Maharashtra and parts of Bengal, there have been reports of arson, of violence, of clashes that have been reported, leading to questions once again over why Ram Navami celebrations are always marred with this kind of violence.
Ram Navami, an auspicious occasion to celebrate the birth of Lord Ram, now also an occasion for political muscle flexing in several states. From Maharashtra to Delhi to West Bengal to Gujarat, in part celebrations were marked by either violence or politics. 500 to 600 people attacked the police in Kiradpura area of Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar in Maharashtra on Wednesday night. The clashes in an area where a Ram temple is located were brought under control.
छोटी सी अनबन को लेकर बड़ी संख्या में कुछ समाज कंटक लोग यहाँ इकट्ठा हो गए थे किराड़पुरा में और यहाँ उन्होंने स्टोन पेल्टिंग करी है। कुछ पुलिस के वाहन भी उन्होंने जलाए हैं, कुछ प्राइवेट वाहन जलाए हैं। पुलिस ने इन सभी लोगों को बल का इस्तेमाल करके उनको यहाँ से निकाल दिया है। तो अभी यहाँ पूरी शांतता है।
The opposition has accused the Eknath Shinde government of mishandling the situation. The government has appealed for peace.
मैं सभी से निवेदन करना चाहता हूं कि शांति बनाए रखें। मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम प्रभु श्री राम जी, इनका राम जन्मोत्सव हम लोग मना रहे हैं। ऐसे समय सभी ने मर्यादाओं का पालन करना चाहिए और शहर में शांति रखनी चाहिए।
ये तनाव पैदा किया जा रहा है और उसके पीछे कौन है, ये इस राज्य के गृह मंत्री को पता होना चाहिए। ये सब कुछ कौन कर रहा है? डुप्लीकेट शिवसेना वाले काम कर रहे हैं।
In Jalgaon district, at least 45 people were arrested after clashes between two groups over music being played outside a mosque while namaz was on. In neighbouring Gujarat, stones were pelted at a Ram Navami procession in Vadodara. The police stepped in and checked the situation from getting out of control.
अभी पूरे विस्तार में शांति है। शोभा यात्रा अच्छे से अपने एरिया में आगे निकल गई है। लोग जो इकट्ठा होते हैं उनको पुलिस ने समझा के अपने अपने घरों में भेज दिया है और कोई भी किसी को कुछ इंजरी हुई ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं हुआ है।
The national capital, which had witnessed communal riots 3 years ago, saw tense moments in Jahangirpur area, a communally sensitive part of the national capital that saw a showdown last year as well. Devotees took out a Shobha Yatra in violation of a police ban. In West Bengal's Howrah, some Hindu outfits took out a procession brandishing weapons. The ruling Trinamool and principal opposition party, the BJP, also took out processions. The festival has been marred by bitter political face-offs. Branding BJP netas as gundas, Mamata Banerjee warned against any riots in the name of Ram Navami.
আমি রামনবমীর মিছিল আটকাবো না, কিন্তু মনে রাখো মিছিল আমরাও করবে, তোমরাও করবে। রমজান মাসও চলছে, রোজার মাসও চলছে। একটা মুসলিম এরিয়ায় গিয়ে হামলা করলে মনে রাখো তার বিরুদ্ধে আইনত পদক্ষেপ নেবে। মিছিল মিটিং করার তোমার অধিকার আছে, দাঙ্গা করার অধিকার নেই।
हर तरह से इन्होंने अभी सब सोच के ही इन्होंने जानबूझ के ये 2 दिन चुना, नहीं तो रामनवमी का दिन चुनने का कोई ज्यादा उचित तो नहीं था।
Reports of violence come a day after the Supreme Court's observations to keep religion out of politics. Terming hate speech a vicious circle, the Supreme Court said that a major problem arises when politicians mix politics with religion. The court underscored that mixing politics with religion is dangerous for democracy and needs to be segregated. Bureau Report, India Today.
So let's focus on exactly what happened in Maharashtra Sambhajinagar. Joining us here on India Today is Mr. Imtiaz Jaleel from the AIMIM. He represents as a member of parliament from Sambhajinagar. Sir, good evening. You were there when the violence broke out last evening in your constituency in Sambhajinagar. Can you tell us exactly what happened, Mr. Jaleel?
Well, I'm not in a position to give you the exact reason what triggered this violence. There are 2-3 theories going around. But I have told the police commissioner to take out the CCTV footages from the entire area where that violence started. And then only we can come down to a conclusion what exactly led to such a massive violent activities taking place in a span of just 1 or 2 hours. When it all started yesterday night in front of Ram Mandir temple. When I reached the spot, I was told by the police not to come there. They're taking everything under control. But there were so many frantic calls I was getting from that area that the situation is going out of control and I should reach there. I went on my motorcycle to that place and realized that the situation was really out of control. And the most surprising and shocking part was that there was a huge crowd that were indulging in violence, but there were hardly a few policemen who were present. So the big question before me, and when I reached there, I asked the first question to the ACP who was present there, where is the force? Where is the policemen? And I am surprised even today that my city has not become so big that the police could take 2.5 hours to reach that place where the violence was taking place, where the vehicles were being burned, where there were stones being pelted, and all sorts of violence was taking place, and there was no policemen around to control that situation. So there are so many questions that need to be answered. But the most important thing as of now is to maintain peace in the city, and for which we all are working together, and hopefully we are going to see a peaceful city as of now, even as the procession of Ram Navami has started in a big way. We hope that situation will be under control and there will be peace all around.
Very true. You raised a very valid question, Mr. Jaleel, which everyone's asking as to what the police was doing when this kind of violence broke out. But you can also see in the footage that the PCR vans, the police vehicles that are there, are particularly being targeted by this angry mob. You also said, sir, that right now we don't really know what triggered it. But did you try to speak to this mob? Did you try to kind of appeal to them to stop resorting to this violence?
Well, you know, unfortunately, all those youngsters that you are seeing in the CCTV footage, most of them are drug addicts. And Aurangabad has become a safe haven for drug addicts. We have been fighting against this with the police to take stock of the situation. And we have been warning them that these drug addicts could play havoc in the city. And yesterday night what we saw was actually what we were apprehending for the past so many months
wasn't
now.
this communal?
There was no reason for anybody
wasn't this
to indulge
violence? Weren't these clashes communal?
Well, let me tell you, this was not a Hindu-Muslim riot.
Okay.
Not a single stone was pelted at any Hindu house or anybody's. The anger was against the police.
But it was on a
we could
festival,
see
sir. It was
if
on a
the
Hindu
police
festival.
had come in time, if the police... It was on a Hindu festival, but let me tell you, no Hindus were attacked, no Hindus were targeted. Yes, there was a mandir, but I had taken charge of that mandir. I sat there in that mandir for 3 hours to make sure that nothing happens in that mandir, because I knew if any untoward incident had happened in that mandir, in the Ram Mandir, then things would have escalated in a much bigger way. And I ensured sitting there for 3 hours with the pujaris, with the family members of all those people who work in that mandir, and I made it sure that nothing happens in that mandir area. And fortunately, nothing happened. But the next morning, when all the top leaders of BJP and Shiv Sena came, they also saw the situation, and everybody told them that nothing happened in the mandir. Whereas in the night there were rumors spreading all around that 20 people have been killed, the mandir has been burnt, and nothing of that sort had taken place. But yes, rumors were taking around, and I had to stand in front of that mandir, in front of Lord Rama, and I had to give a video message along with the pujari of that mandir to tell the people, to convey a message that everything is normal within the mandir premises. Nothing has gone wrong. No untoward incident has taken place within the temple premises. Yes, outside the mandir there were violent protests. The police vehicles were being targeted. There were stones being pelted. But luckily and good for the city that nothing happened for that in that mandir.
You know, we appreciate what you did, Mr. Jalil, and perhaps you reassuring the people also made a difference. But there will be questions about whether if you weren't there, the temple would have been targeted. Mr. Jalil, I've run out of time, but thank you very much for joining us here on India Today and clarifying for us, putting on record exactly what happened in Sambhajinagar. Let's cut across to breaking news now that's coming in. And unfortunately, there are more images of violence, of clashes, arson that is now being reported. These images that we're showing to you right now is from Bengal's Howrah district, where there's been violence that's been reported. Remember that Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee had sounded off a warning against Ram Navami processions, armed Ram Navami processions. But did she do anything to stop this kind of violence will be a question that will be asked right now of, in fact, the administration of the Chief Minister. The Ram Navami procession, the Shobha Yatra in Howrah also being targeted, being attacked. Stones were pelted, many vehicles also being vandalized. And you can see these images coming in right now of arson as well. Things going completely out of control, unfortunately. We've seen this happening in Gujarat, in Maharashtra, in Bengal, and in every single one of these locations, have no doubt in your minds, it's the Shobha Yatra, the Ram Navami processions that are being targeted so brazenly. This is happening right now in Bengal's Howrah, where vehicles were targeted, they were overturned, set on fire. Indrajit is joining us with more details on this. Indrajit, shocking images that are coming in right now from Howrah. What's the situation currently? Where were the cops when all of this was happening?
Well, Akshita, what we are gathering right now, these are early times, and as you can see from the visuals, there are visuals of vehicles being set on fire, and this is something that there was an apprehension that all these processions may turn violent. And even as we speak right now, the situation at Shibpur police station area in Howrah remains volatile, remains tense. Additional police deployment is happening right now. What we are given to understand, there was a procession that was taken out on the occasion of Ram Navami just a short while back, sometime later in the afternoon towards the evening. And what we are told is that apparently there are allegations that there was some stone pelting that took place on that procession, following which there were protests and which turned violent, and vehicles were set on fire, so clashes erupted there. So police is deployed in the area. They are trying to bring the situation in control. It is always, generally there is some sort of a tension in Howrah. This is the belt where, similar incidents have taken place in previous years as well. So the administration, the police, of course, were in the know-how that there might be something of that sort. So there was an apprehension, and that is precisely what Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee had warned yesterday. If you remember, it was day one of her dharna in Kolkata, and she had said that
Indrajit, just stay with me. Mr. Rahul Sinha of the BJP is joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Rahul Sinha, what do you have to say about these images that we're showing right now on India Today from Howrah, where there are reports of arson, of violence coming in during the Ram Navami procession?
देखिए, ममता बनर्जी ने कहा था जो कोई हिंसा होगा हम व्यवस्था लेंगे। मतलब हिंसा होने के लिए उकसाने का काम ममता बनर्जी ने किया। मैं समझता हूँ हावड़ा का घटना का सीबीआई जांच होना चाहिए। अभी सीबीआई जांच होगा तो इसके पीछे कौन लोग हैं ये सारी चीज सामने आएगा। ये पॉलिटिकल हस्तक्षेप तृणमूल का ओर से हुआ और जानबूझ के तृणमूल घटना को दूसरा ओर घुमाने के लिए, नियोग दुर्नीति से छुटकारा पाने के लिए उन लोगों ने ये काम किया और राम नवमी को बदनाम करने के लिए किया। इसका सीबीआई जांच होना चाहिए। मैं सीबीआई जांच के लिए मांग करता हूँ।
अच्छा, तो आप बता रहे हैं that there should be a CBI investigation right now into the violence that's broken out. Rahul Sinha also alleging that there's a conspiracy at play here that's led to this kind of violence. आप बोल रहे हैं राहुल जी कि ये जानबूझ के किए हैं। आप क्यों ऐसे बोल रहे हो? We've lost the connection with Rahul Sinha. I want to take this back across to Indrajit Kundu right now. Indrajit, there was a comment made by Mamata Banerjee saying she will not allow any armed Ram Navami processions. What did she have to say about this kind of violence? It's not the first time it's happened in Bengal. Last year to Ram Navami, we saw similar images coming in.
Well, that's right, Akshita. You know, the administration, and it coming from the top leadership of the administration, none other than the Chief Minister herself, she had categorically warned that stern action would be initiated. She had said that everybody has, the freedom to come out with a procession and express their religious rights, but it does not. The administration cannot permit anyone to indulge in rioting, in arson, and all these sorts of law and order issues. And this is precisely what we are seeing turning out. Seems like a template of sorts that keeps playing out in West Bengal year after year, especially in the last few years. And that is precisely the apprehension that was there. Now, what we saw this morning, and we've been reporting on India Today since morning, there was a procession that was taken out in Howrah, where people were seen brandishing sword. So clearly, it's a sign of aggression. We've got reports of certain pictures emerging on social media where we can see people brandishing swords in other parts of Bengal as well. So clearly, this is not something that goes down well with the law enforcing agencies. So they will have to take this into note and book these people who are brandishing swords. And now, of course, what we are seeing, of course, is that there is an incident that is being reported from Howrah. Howrah is the place in the morning where we saw that procession where swords were brandished. So clearly, there was some amount of tension that was building up, and as the apprehension was there, that seems to have come true now with the kind of visuals that we are now putting out to our audiences.
Let's see.
Police, of course, have been deployed. They're trying to bring the situation in control. It will take some time.
Yeah, let's see what Mamata Banerjee has to say about this violence, whether her government will take accountability. The BJP is already saying we want a CBI investigation. Thanks, Indrajit, for getting us that update. I'm quickly cutting across to more breaking news coming in. From Maharashtra Sambhajinagar to Jalgaon, there are images coming in right now of pelting, of violence that's broken out. This has happened in Jalgaon, where clashes broke out over loud music being played outside mosques as part of the Ram Navami celebrations. And so stones were pelted at the Shobha Yatra, at the procession, as they made their way through the streets of Jalgaon. The cops have cracked the whip. We understand 2 FIRs have been registered. 45 people have been taken into custody for resorting to this kind of violence. The police are saying right now that the situation is under control. But these are images that are coming in right now from Maharashtra's Jalgaon. Look at that on your screens. You can see the pelting that's happened. This actually, in fact, played out last night on the eve of Ram Navami, where you can see arson, pelting. Cops have cracked the whip since then. We understand that the situation has been brought under control. Things are calm right now in Jalgaon. We're going to continue getting you all of these images of the violence that's broken out on Ram Navami. I'm slipping into a short break. Coming up on the other side, all the latest updates from Polban, Karnataka with Nabila from Bengaluru.
ईडी, सीबीआई, इनकम टैक्स जैसी एजेंसियों का दुरुपयोग हो रहा है और लगातार विपक्ष के नेताओं को इस पर निशाना बनाया जा रहा है। इस पर आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
देखिए, जब 2017 की मैं बात कर रहा हूं, यूपी का चुनाव था, कांग्रेस की एक बड़ी नेत्री ने कहा कि भ्रष्टाचार हमने किया था तो क्यों कार्यवाही नहीं हो रही है, हम पर सवाल खड़े करे थे। अब हो रही है तो हाय तौबा कर रहे हैं।
As the Ram Mandir rises in Ayodhya, Uttar Pradesh, a similar temple is rising in Karnataka too. Eyeing the Hindu vote bank, the BJP government is all set to build a temple on the lines of the Ayodhya shrine in Ramanagara. The big announcement came just ahead of the assembly polls. The temple will be built on a 19-acre plot in Ramadevara Betta.
ಫಸ್ಟು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟು ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಇವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ತಗೊಂಡು ನಿರ್ಣಯವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಿಶ್ಚಯ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಏನು ದುಡ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಜನರು ಭಕ್ತಾದಿಗಳು ಬಂದು ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದ, ಸರ್ಕಾರ ದುಡ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ, ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಪೇಯರ್ ದುಡ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ, ರಾಮ ಭಕ್ತರ ದುಡ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ.